fellow traders. Welcome to another episode of the Wolf Den Trader Takeaways. Today was a pretty solid day. We had a couple runners. We got an IMRN, APRN, little swing ding on CEI and MLNT. We also took a order flow scalp on NVCN. So with that said, let's just go ahead and roll right into executions. Rebecca. All right, thank you so much. Now, I hope everyone stayed safe today. We had a decent amount of volume in small caps. Let's just start it off with IMRN. IMRN had an offering after hours. They dropped 430 right here, American Depository Shares offering. But in the morning, it was just up on 52% earnings. Revenue soars 52% in 2019 thus far. Let's just go ahead. We didn't find any overhead supply. Let's go ahead and take a look at the higher time frame chart, the 3-year chart. So I'm looking at the 3-year 1-day chart. First thing I want to look at, no reverse splits. Let's look at today's volume. Pretty high volume. Today we traded 11.1 million, but relatively speaking, that's 79 times the 10-day average. Also, today's volume was 211 times the 90-day relative average. So decent amount of volume today, as you can tell by the disruptancy of the volume profile, right? So normal volume profile on the left, and then just look at this massive volume coming in, just out of place. Agenda volume, we believe that it was to raise the price, raise interest, raise the sentiment of the stock so that they can dump into it, right? They just released 430 after hours dilution. So we have levels right here. Let's zoom in even more. Enhance. There we go. Now we're taking a wide, fat zoom. We're looking in on this thing. We want to see where to attack. So we have levels already marked. Previous support right here. I had a channel reported in the room that the main volume deposit channel was between 494 and 625. Now in pre-market, we got on top of that line, and that was a long trigger for me. Here's the 5-minute chart right here. So we did end up getting right on top of that 625 line. This is the 5-minute chart, but as you can see, this thing looked a little strong. And after we broke or cracked VWAP right here, I put some feelers out, as you can see right here. I put a couple orders out against the high, but I wasn't gonna cut it right away. I was just looking at it, and it didn't have the volume that I thought it needed to really have another leg up. So I waited for some buyer exhaustion, a guns hot order, and put together a decent little average. Let's go ahead and zoom in on executions. So here we are right here. I'm working, let me zoom in a little bit so that we can get these averages right for you guys. A decent amount of executions. Today I had 105 tickets, 69.02% passive liquidity today. We like to keep that above 70. So here we are at $6.81.3 is the average. Now, like I said in the majority of the videos, we like strength. Strength gives us more range. More range gives us more cheddar. So I'm trimming here, especially because I did put in some lower orders. So I'm taking profit, or not taking profit. Yeah, I'm taking profit, but I'm just kind of reducing size. Basically, just a trim, and then we get a flush, and I exit about 3. Here's executions right here. So building a 1,000 share position, and then I'm taking off 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm taking off 90% of the position into this wash, leaving 100 shares for that low price. Looking, my eyes just go right to 375. So we get a little bit of strength, and I probably have some emotions into taking off 90% of the position. So in hindsight, adding under VWAP is not a good thing. I'm really focusing on that right now. Looking at the inefficiencies on the chart, my eyes are focused on these ads. Not good. So then we come up here. Now I'm adding back, and I do begin to build a pre-market position. This was my main look in pre-market. And then here's the average, 641.5, 654.02, and then I take I'm taking profit. So here, taking profit at 648 and 640 right here. So I'm building a position and also taking profit into strength, right? So we have a little bit of strength here, but we're okay with being able to short into a little bit of strength like this and take profit. That gives us confidence. That's how we do it. So here we go at the bell. Now the bell, this was my main look. We had great liquidity here. We had for like the first 5 minutes, maybe a 200K baseline average, which is fantastic. We like that. And we also like the wicks up top. So we came out of the bell and we were flat, right? From 9 o'clock to 9:30, we're just trading in the 675 to 645 range. Basically, just watching this thing to pick a direction. Now we're sitting on top of 625, so I reported in the room that was the top of the secondary volume consolidation, right, off of the previous higher time frame volume deposits. Now, if that doesn't make crystal clear sense to you, hop in the Discord room. It's open enrollment. We have 16 seats left. Love to see you in the Wolf Pack, Wolf Trading. Give us a look. So here we go. We're pushing, and I missed this push right here. I had orders out above, which I ultimately moved, and I switched after we missed. I had orders out at like 704, 711, right? Just trying to go off of this 738 pre-market highs, as everyone was, because shorts were stumbling over each other to get filled, and I missed. So we come down, no trim. I still have a position, but I'm not sized in enough to trim here at micro support. We come back up. Now I'm being a little bit more aggressive because I don't know if this thing's just going to sell off or what, but I'm adding into strength. And then once I catch this ad, the executions are over here. So once I start to catch ads, now I'm getting sized in. This was a beauty right here, 714. And now I'm just taking profit. We're taking profit at 690, 650s. We're just running this channel. This was a nice 90-cent range. Great liquidity, and relatively speaking, the spread was fine. I wish we could trade this right here all day long. It would be fantastic, to be honest with you guys. I really enjoyed this type of action. So here we go, just adding and then taking profit. Now, first recycle, profit. Second recycle, a little bit of profit. Coming back up, third recycle, profit. Now I'm feeling in tune. This is me feeling and executing in rhythm with the order flow. So we come down weak, we come back up, I'm adding, and I'm top ticking a good majority. From this point, like top ticks, top tick, like partial fill top tick. Like I'm really in the zone, top tick. So I'm feeling good. I'm getting aggressive now. We get this flush, and I misjudged the flush a little bit at micro support. That just tells me mentally that I'm begging for more strength. I want more strength because I'm in the name, and I'm fighting this thing well, right? I'm the one holding the red cape. In the bullfight, I guess, if that's not really the best analogy. But here we are adding for the first time, besides pre-market, under VWAP, right? Not good because I'm taking early profit, and now I'm adding back early. So not a good combo right here. And I normally don't like to add below my lowest cover. That's a mental rule. So this was... This needs to be looked at, which we are looking at it now. Just taking profit. Now we're losing range right here. The range is... 30, 40 cents. That's going sideways right here. And this sideways action causes me to add more size below. But we do get one more push. And I did report in the room that I'm looking for that wave 5 push after this hard crack. We got wave 1, 2, 3, 4. And we do get that 5th wave, but it was a monster. This was the highest range strength candle besides the open that we had. This was the last bit of strength right here. If we look at the volume, we got 317,000 shares, and the best execution of the chart, I had some notes right here, I don't know where they're at, was this 25% position stop out at 634. This was the only out of the money cover. This is the only out of the money buy on the chart, so I'm happy with that one. Even though it was only 25%, just a good, good little bit of protection, looking to add back higher. It didn't happen. And then we get the flush, and I'm taking a good amount of this position off in the flush because we're starting to go sideways. And this strength right here shows me that buyers could possibly be in control, and I'm going to respect that. So then I'm taking massive profit, and we get a little bit more strength. But this right here was enough for me to believe that this thing's just all day fade parade, game over. So I put a 6 or a 5.99 order out, and I caught a partial fill. 5.99 order, 133 share partial fill, and I did not touch the target. Just left it there. We got the remainder of the fill, and we just start to flush. And at this point, I'm setting targets off of technical, higher time frame technical targets. I shouted my targets out in the room right here at like 551, 560, 540, 551, and then this was a 505, and then I wanted 404. Such a great trade. I mean, I like this about 6 times, recycling shares almost 6 times, working that core. And I did say in the room, look at every consolidation, we get a flush, right? Every consolidation at every level is like a chapter of the story, right? So we're trapping and then we get a nice flush. It seems like every downside momentum is like a massive quick flush, which shows me that there's going to be continuation to the trend, either way, whether they're trapping shorts or longs. That's a continuation clue for me. Taking profit. And then I had a 404 target, which it did near miss. I'm not going to chase, right? And we've talked about chasing targets, and I had confirmation that, in my opinion, that we were going to see more downside momentum. So even though my 404 was a near miss and we're starting to show a little bit of strength, I have conviction, and I have I trust my trader intuition, right? We're discretionary traders, like our moderator Elliot said today. Shout out to Elliot. Man, the guy's trading well. But if we're gonna miss, now I don't know if you guys play golf, but when you make a putt or you take a putt, there's a pro side and there's the amateur side to every putt, right? Now when the putt breaks, if it breaks before it gets to the hole, you miss amateur side, right? And that's kind of like how I feel about these targets. Now, this might just be an analogy that you might not be able to connect with, but if you're going to miss on the targets, miss pro side, right? And this is a pro side miss. I feel like if I didn't catch 404, that I missed it. I missed the move. I missed what I wanted to capture. I was off by 2 pennies on $4, right? That's 2%, or a 0.5%, whatever. It was a near miss. So I have conviction I'm going to drop my targets down. And then we get that offering at 430 and it just lights out. Boom. Now they haven't started to dilute yet. I don't think there's no liquidity. They're probably going to push this thing back up. I don't know. I haven't really looked at it. I had some errands this afternoon, but I did end up taking that final tiny little piece at 373, right? Because you guys know I like to hold for those low targets. Okay. So that was IMRN. Really good. It's a good trade. I like it. I'm happy with it. Now let's look at some mistakes. ARPN, I'm going to pull this chart up because I have the trade notes and the averages on it. Now, ARPN had a press release regarding Beyond, BYND. Everyone knows that's a recent IPO that's just been in play for weeks after weeks. Everybody's trading that thing. Let's take a look on, hold on, APRN. So, massive strength, right? We closed yesterday 766, and now we're basically doubling in price almost. We're doubling. Not quite, but 80-90%. I forget what it was, but it was massive strength. And here's the volume profile. So I started getting into this thing. Let's look at the daily real quick. It's a weak chart and a recent reverse split on a 1 for 15, which is significant in relation to this market cap on 614. So this thing is strong, and I'm waiting until predicted or a possibility for backside. So I let this thing push up to about over $12. Now, here's my levels. Let's just take a look at the levels since I'm here. I'm going to enhance. Now, the reason why I picked 1234 was a level. These levels are fresh from this morning, and also 1150 off the technical. But if we look at the volume, now this volume was deposited today, so you won't be able to tell, but I really did like 1234, and I liked 1150. And with that said, we're coming up here at we topped out at 12.15, and I jump in right here at 11.72 starter, I believe. 11.72, and then we get a flush. Now I'm feeling good because I waited all day for this, and I enter 1 minute before a decent little flush. I think I got a good beat on it. Like, I'm gonna nail this thing. So I start to add in a little bit, right? Not a lot. Executions should be right there. That's the beginning of this position, and then I'm gonna continue to add into high a day, but I do not cut. Now, if I'm going to risk against high a day, I need to cut right here at 12.20, and I don't. I continue to add even into this exhaustion, and then I take a massive trim right here for a loss. Now, I know this thing has great range on it, and I know BYND is also a strong name. I know there's a lot of strong players in here, and I remember watching the tape as it cracked $10. I thought there was a decent amount of manipulation. I didn't have it on main watch, so I wasn't able to get a real good read on it, but I think that we had a decent amount of manipulation, and which we kind of did, because look at the retracement. It gave back, $13.50. It gave back over $3.50. It gave back like 35-40%. So here I am. I'm stopping out. This is a stop. This is a stop, a hard stop, right? Triggered. Not too much slippage on this one though, but I did get some. And then I'm losing on the front, but I'm trying to maintain a small red, or even ideally a small green accumulation of position. And that just comes from scalping the order flow. This is not a great example because I took a decent loss on the front, and I carried after these trims right here. These ads, I'm carrying a 1290 average, right? And I'm adding at about 12.95, so that's not too bad. But I did reduce the position twice, so I carried some of these shares up, and now right here, I'm entering 2 minutes after this high a day. So I'm really getting aggressive on that. Now I'm adding here at 13.50 and 13.25, again adding at 13.39, and my average is 13.13. So I did all right carrying these shares up, but it was risky. Now, I switched over immediately after this flush. Now, this was a nice flush, but I switched over to my backside core strategy at this point, which is, we'll talk about that in a video, but I switched over on the first consolidation, which is aggressive, but it can be a great reward. And then we get a nice flush. This was a 64-cent flush, the biggest sell candle on the day. Now, I wasn't sure that we were backside, even though I was adding aggressively. I wanted to trim, right? I have front side loss. I want to vaporize the front side loss as fast as I can, right? In lieu of maximum profit, right? So if that makes sense. So here I am. I'm catching the bottom of this, and now I'm adding into, look what tiny bit of strength we have coming in. I mean, this thing's basing at 12.70, and we're really getting like 15 cents relatively to a $13 stock. It's minimal range, but we're catching it, and then we're just in the zone now. We're trading the back, and now I'm adding heavy. These executions right here put me in the green. The front is vaporized. I feel like I'm in a winning trade. Now I'm heavier on the executions from a few weeks ago or a month ago, where 70% of my executions were on the front. Now we're starting to put in work on that back, baby, right? That's what we want. That's what we were working hard for. Let's skip the front, right? I mean, I couldn't, but we're getting better every single day. And a shout out to the guys in the room. Elliot nailed this trade. Great front side, risk adverse. And we just have guys posting massively talented charts, and they're just looking like paintings. They're so pretty, man. These guys are so good. We have a lot of talent in the room. We're looking for 16 more guys. So jump in there with us, and let's make all our dreams come true, right? I mean, that's what we're working so hard for. Look at these ads right here, scaling into a 1250 thesis. Now, I had 1250 thesis on all three of these bumps. I missed this one. My first ad was going to be around like 1228. But really just running backside. And this was a masterpiece right here, a tiny little bit. I took profit early because this was a mental beating. I took a little bit of a mental beating on the front. I did save some for 1227, and it's just sitting there nice and pretty. So a lot of work, a lot of learning and education on this one. We can improve on this, absolutely. But we're green on the name. We've been green since 710. We're happy about that. We're getting better every single day, and the guys in the room are making it that much easier to improve. Let's go to CEI. Now CEI, a lot of guys in the room were trading this as well. We had a decision point at around $3 if I can get my data to load. But here is yesterday, nice little flush, and CEI was just kind of squeezing shorts out. But here we are at 301. Now remember, we could have added here. We had a nice little push, but it just wasn't enough, and I'm already in a short swing. I was taking profit yesterday, and now I'm taking profit today. Here we go, taking profit at 301. It's just a beautiful swing. MLNT, taking profit on that right here. Oh yeah, someone in the room called me a piker for those early CEI covers. All right. All right, but here MLNT. Taking some profit out of 403. My average is 612. CEI average is 435. So we're taking nice profit. And then the last trade, thanks for hanging out with us today, guys, NVCN. Now, NVCN was alerted early on in the morning. I posted just a little bit of information about the stock, the market cap, the outstanding shares, and some data from the stock itself, like healthcare, this information. But this was just purely, I guess you could call it a tape scalp. I don't know if that's what it is or not, but I noticed that the buyers they disappeared. I was like, what happened? It was just a switch, like literally a light switch. The tape changed, and I just saw the opportunity to jump in, guns hot, market order into this one, and very, very soon after that, we flushed nice and hard. Now, even though we flushed this fast, orders are still out in front of the tape. As soon as I get a fill, I want to make sure that my targets are out. I want to know my levels before I even enter the trade, because I need to know my levels and my targets so I can calculate the risk-reward potential. If you guys aren't calculating the risk-reward, look that up, take a look. You want a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 minimum, risking 1 to 2% of your account size per trade. Now, that's personal preference, but those are basic numbers right there. And that's it, guys. So we were taking profit on everything that we traded today. We're doing big things in the room. We got talented traders in the room. Now, speaking of the room, let's look at the runner's room. But this is the Wolf Trading Discord room, baby. This is where the magic happens. We got fireworks lighting off every morning. We got guys jumping in 7:30 a.m. Here is NVCN. This was a low volume. This was just like a little pump and dumper pre-market. Not too sure about that one, but just scalped the volatility. So this one we traded in the recap, APRN. We're gonna get some more volume out of that. The news is just the BYND. Anything that touches BYND is gonna get eyes. Here is CTST. It's a cannabis stock that had some bad news come out. A couple guys in the room have been shorting this, swinging it short. Position plays. So take a look at that. It's got decent volume and it's been in play. So we're going to keep looking at that. IMRN. Now IMRN just had a super little fade today. We crushed this one big time. Like I said, we were entering around, the best entry was 722 and we're taking profit last profit like 370. That's like a $4 move we took on that. And GCAP low volume push, but this thing is also going to be in play. Just kind of riding up. We're going to take a look at it. So not a lot of plays today, but we had some isolated volume in the ones that we're running. So it's earnings season. We're trying to wait a little bit, be a little bit more patient. We're going to get the money back into small caps, right? Mid cap and some smaller cap traders are trading the larger stuff right now, as that's where volatility is. So thanks a lot, guys. Give us a look in Discord. We'd love to have you in the room, and we'll see you next time. Be safe.